Good morning. I'm your host, Alexandria August. So listen, on this episode, Turning Spiritual, let me break down some realities for you. I posted this up days before or whatever, but let me tell you something. A lot of times when people get into spiritual journeys, it's exciting, it's new. You'll go through multiple spiritual awakenings. You'll tune more into your spiritual gifts, which is a beautiful thing, right? And sometimes it can be scary because sometimes, and I've talked about this here before, um, on different episodes, not relating to it, but you know how sometimes I'll talk about whatever I'm talking about on my episode, and I go into it, end up going into a spiritual talk. But anyways, um, and it can be very life changing. Um, and it'll move your life forward, you know, in a good way. A lot of times when we turn in spiritually, um, we end up making decisions that we probably wouldn't have made, our old selves wouldn't have made when we didn't focus on our spirituality. And it would be unconsciously, consciously, but unconsciously, because you're tapping into your higher self. So you're making different decisions and you're making different decisions. One thing about it, when God gives you a gift and when you focus more on your spiritual than anything, when God gives you those gifts, He's going to show you, I'm talking about God is going to show you how to make it happen. He's going to align a lot of things for it to happen for you. You see what I'm saying? So if it's something that God showed to you, it's not going to be hard for you to do. And it's not going to be hard for you to obtain it. You don't have to go through, um, I guess, like some extreme stuff. You know what I'm saying? All the time to be able to maintain it and to be able to keep it. You see what I'm saying? Now, the thing about that, while you're going through your spiritual journey, yeah, you're gonna have all kind of stuff thrown at you know, and that's not of God or whatever. A lot of times that be stuff from, life be life and other people throwing it at you. But I know for a fact that when God gives it to you, I just woke up too. I know for a fact that when God gives it to you, it's yours, and you'll be able to keep it a lifetime with no issues because God gave it to you. Only thing you got to do is keep up with your spiritual work, your prayers. You see what I'm saying? And you just being grateful, you know, not thinking, not getting into the act of, okay, well, I obtained this or I have this. And then you get to bragging and boasting, in which, that's yours. Talk your stuff. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. I understand it. But when you talk your stuff and you get to bragging and boasting, that's when people start wanting to put the evil eye on you and want to start, doing all the speaking ill on you, and which we don't care about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, and it's not always about what you got or whatever. You listen. I know more spiritual people that are poor than more spiritual people that are rich. You see what I'm saying? I know more spiritual people that is middle class than people that are actually rich. But what I'm saying is, you can have one soda and the other person don't have a soda. They're gonna be trying to put the evil out on you. They're gonna be speaking ill of you because you have one soda more than what they have. So the more you climb in your spiritual journey, you just gotta shut up and you just gotta not flaunt it. When you do that, it makes your journey a whole lot easier. It makes your journey a whole lot peaceful. You see what I'm saying? It makes your journey more easier for things to come to you naturally. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever. Instead of it being, well, instead of it being, so dramatic. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah. But what people fail to realize is when they try to, throw stuff at you, use the evil eye, or speak ill, or voodoo, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. And I say another thing, I'm about to tie this in. When they use stuff like that, and when they use stuff like, I guess, what is it, swapping, destiny swapping, it's dangerous because when you try to do destiny swapping with somebody, God has aligned how this person is going to sustain in their destiny. God, like the old people, God know all, God see all. It tells you that in the Bible. God know all, God see all. So in your destiny, God has aligned what's going to come to you, how it's going to come to you, and when it's, you know what I'm saying? Even the emergencies, God already had aligned all that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a whole ecosystem yourself. So what God has did is covered you. You see what I'm saying? Now, when people that try to destiny swap with you, even if they are successful, even if they try to, your gifts, your whatever God has agreed, whatever God has given you in your whole destiny, and with you fulfilling your gifts and talents, they won't have that same thing. And what I mean by if they succeed or if they try, that's like some people, they'll try to destiny swap for people's lifestyle, right? Okay, you can try to swap for what that person is going to have in the future or what that person got, right? But you're not going to have what is needed to maintain that because it's given to them and not given to you. You see what I'm saying? When you try to take something that's not yours, you're not going to have no peace with it, okay? You ain't going to do nothing but catch hell with it. And then you don't know how you're going to maintain it because it's not yours. So destiny swapping, I truly advise against that because you ain't going to be able to maintain it. And some people get so caught up in a destiny swap and trying to steal somebody else's light, somebody else's thunder. The next thing you know, this person here, they found themselves in a pit, a bottomless pit that they can't get out of. Instead of releasing the voodoo or hoodoo or whatever it is that they're using to try to destiny swap with someone. So even if they are successful in their destiny swap and you still have what you have, or you have less than what you have, just know that what they did, it will break and you will be restored whole. Just know that. You see what I'm saying? So what's yours is got to come back to you. But what you got to do is you have to claim your power back. You see what I'm saying? And it's so easy because a lot of times we'll walk around and we don't know or we don't pay attention because what we're putting our energy into, we're giving our power. Places, things, people, you know what I'm saying? Material, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So when you claim your energy back from it, or from somebody that destiny swapped or tried to destiny swap with you, instantly you're gonna break that. You're gonna break that tie. You're gonna break that whatever it is that they tried to do. You see what I'm saying? It's just like when people, when they try to use certain things, dolls or, you know, spells and vexes, whatever it is, to manipulate and to control people, you know, claim your power back. You see what I'm saying? Pray Psalms. Me personally, three probably about four of Psalms that I truly, truly love is Psalms 123, Psalms 141, Psalms 35, Psalms 109, and I'm going to say Psalm 61 and Psalms 95. So I gave it some extras. So either way the case may be, okay, yes, pray these over your life. Like seriously, you're going to break anything with that. But not only that, the whole Psalms, pretty much, the whole Psalms, tear up a vix, or tear up a witchcraft, or tear up any doll, would do, yeah. Okay, so you just got, just stay prayed up and just focus on God. But I will say this here, the more you focus on God and not focus on stuff like that, you untouchable any god doggone way. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. The more you focus on God and not that stuff there, but you better know how to fight. You better know how to fight spiritually. You got to know how to fight spiritually. And it's very important, like, throughout our day-to-day things, but it's very important to build our spiritual lives so we'll know how to fight against spiritual attacks. Because the sad thing about it, some people, they're just that evil and just that dang on heartless and want to control and want to be narcissists and want to be bigger than the program, but they can never be you. They can never be you. Never. Not even on their best day. They couldn't even be you on your worst day. Okay? Come on now. Now they can't even be your talent on its worst day, on their best day. They can't even be your spiritual gift on your worst day, on their best day. Okay? They can't even. They don't hold a candle to you. Like it's sad, okay? But to want to try to be you, okay? If someone gives you enlightenment, take that enlightenment, apply it to your life. Be the best version of you. Not be the best version of, try to be the best version of them. Be the best version of you. That's authenticity, okay? That's originality, because you're being the best version of you, not somebody else, not trying to take what someone else have, not wanting to see someone go down. See, when you're dealing with spiritual, and if you want bad to happen to somebody else, that's why I can't say it enough. When you dig one ditch, you better dig another, okay? Get to praying them Psalms, because if they dig a ditch with you and if it form, guess what God's going to do? He gonna do a Lazarus on you. He gonna pull you right out of it, okay? And then, you know what? Still gonna be doggone stuck in that ditch, you know, or whatever. So, you sometimes you just gotta get your holy oil, and you gotta go to town, okay? Yeah, I'm still one of them people too. I ain't gonna lie, some holy oil. Either way, but I use different things, but most importantly, I use prayers or whatever. This is my thing. If you want to use your spiritual gifts, and you need to tap into it to get you some money, to help your situation get better, to help your family get better, then that's something totally different. I can respect that, or whatever. But when you sitting up here trying to swap and astral project and use telekinesis and trying to destroy somebody's destiny, that's what you don't do. I can't respect that, because if you are truly a spiritual person and you are truly a good person, The last thing you want to do is try to destroy anybody. And I can't say this enough. I always say this here. If anything, even when they're wrong with you, pray good for those people. Never pray bad for those people. Pray good for those people. And sometimes, and it's not sometimes, a lot of times, those people they are destroyers. They be doing so much bad against people and working against people so bad and trying to doggone destroy everything because they want to be the one to have it all. They want to be the one that they want to be the know all and be all. Baby, you can only be the God that's in you, just like the next person can only be the God that's in them. Hear me now, you know, you know. So they'll try to use anything to attack you because of jealousy, because of envious, because of the never be, because they will never be. They will never be what God has destined over your life. But you got to claim what God has destined over your life because that's your destiny and that's for you, and God will work it out to where you will fulfill that. And see, that has them. They got their panties in a bunch. They got their panties stuck all up in their behind because they don't know what to do with that. You know, some people, it's. I'm not gonna say what's not meant for everybody, but what I'm gonna say is what's yours is yours. Okay. Now, however that might look flamboyant. If you don't call back your power, it probably ain't gonna look flamboyant. Okay. If you don't know who you are, it probably ain't gonna look flamboyant or luxurious. Hey, it might not be doggone 15-carat diamonds. It might be 1 carat. It might be a carat of cubic zirconia. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's yours. Thank God for it and keep it pushing. Okay, keep working at it. You'll get what's yours. And that's the thing in life. You want to get all of that's yours. You don't want to rob nobody. Try to rob nobody of theirs. That shit would drive you crazy. You want to get what's yours. Because when you get what's yours, it's going to be easy to maintain it. Work within the realm of your own ecosystem. Stay prayed up to where your vibration overflows over the top of your ecosystem, okay? It's probably going to go over a lot of people's heads. Tune in. You'll know what I'm talking about, okay? Y'all, sometimes y'all be late, okay? Sometimes y'all be late. Y'all listen. This ain't the first time I see this on social media. This ain't the first time I heard this. Y'all, I was on social media the other day. These guys, it was like 3 guys or maybe multiple, or I'm gonna just say multiple guys. They said they walked here. They walked to Mexico from India. They asked the guys how long did it take them to walk to Mexico from India. The guys say they've been walking all day. All day. All day. From India to Mexico. Oh, okay. I told y'all about the maps. You forgot I was born in the 80s. Everybody during my time, they was doggone, they were old. You know what I'm saying? My mother was younger. You know what I'm saying? But my grandmother, you gotta look at my grandmother was 70 something. You know what I'm saying? Well, she wasn't 70 something when I was born, but she was 70 something when she passed. You know what I'm saying? Other people here they are, they 80, 90. They're 100 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I was blessed in my life to be caught up in the middle. You got the young, we all are caught up in the young. You got the young, you got the old. You know what I'm saying? But most people have not met someone that's at least 100 years old, or 80 something years old, or 90 something years old. Some people haven't. Some they haven't, or at least they don't remember. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, but either way. So I'm saying that to say this here. A lot of people, when I grew up in the 80s, they still had old maps because a lot of them, You know what I'm saying? In some shape or form, they was educators. They was teachers. You know what I'm saying? And then I grew up with like, well, I had like friends. Not, well, yeah, but we still friends. But like friends. But either way, those old maps, how these maps is, and then when I started noticing people start paying attention to the maps, like, dang it, you hit the bullseye, God doggone it, y'all on it. Yeah, so I just thought that was so funny. And then I seen this other lady yesterday, and she was talking about the maps for Egypt. She was talking about the whole map. She's saying Africa. No, she said Egypt and Israel and all that stuff was on the American continent. Y'all, I laughed so hard. I laughed so god doggone hard. It made no doggone sense. I'm like, then she was talking about Little Egypt, which is separate from Egypt. I'm sitting up like, y'all are waking up, okay? Like, y'all are waking up. That's all I gotta say. I couldn't do that but laugh, and I was so happy. I was so happy. Or whatever, because this whole continent is connected. I ain't getting into that whole thing, or whatever. And I ain't talking about connecting how they showed the doggone map. Okay? I done told y'all about New York. Anyway, just keep searching. Just keep searching. You'll find out. Like how they found out all those trees that was supposed to be in Africa, that was supposed to be in Israel, that was supposed to be in um, Europe, or whatever. They found a lot of them trees over here in the United States, huh? That's all I got to say. Either way, pretty dang on interesting. And then a couple days ago, the lady was sitting there talking about the reset or whatever. Oh, what's the name of the thing? The lady was sitting there talking about the reset, and she was talking about the who was it? What I was reading the other day, they were talking about the what you call them things, echons, echons, something like that. I know I'm not pronouncing it right, and I don't have my book near me or whatever. But I was reading this book here. It was talking about star seeds. I just like reading stuff. Okay, whether if I relate to it or not, I just like a good read. It just be fascinating to me. It just be fascinating or whatever. I get into that type of stuff. But either way, the case may be, yeah. So you vibrate so high. You vibrate so high to where your vibrations is overflowing on top of your ecosystem, over the top of your ecosystem, because you are ecosystem yourself. Okay, and if you are ecosystem yourself, it's very important to learn to balance your energy and to always stay balanced and balanced within yourself. Because if you learn to always stay balanced within yourself, within your ecosystem, a lot of negativity and a lot of stuff will not attach to you, because you can't, you won't really attract it. You're gonna attract some, but you won't really attract a lot of it. But even if you do, on your down days, or if you have an off day or whatever, attract some stuff, it'll quickly fall off of you, because you're vibrating so high. You know what I'm saying? You don't need voodoo. You don't need witchcraft. You don't need vexes. You don't need people putting an evil eye on you. You don't need no spell work or nothing like that. Once you naturally learn how to tune into your own frequency, to be able to protect yourself and to be able to cover yourself. Because if you got to go to man for a protection, for your protection, that's a false protection. Because you're a God body and you have God in you. So, yeah, so you don't have to go to man to do that. Because one thing about it, your God body, your God self, is going to win against that man all day, because you tap into your source, which is God. God is in everybody, okay? And the crazy thing about it, a lot of people, they have these, I guess we would call them complexes, and they're not bad complexes. They are remember when I was telling y'all about when God transformed into Jesus, right? Spiritually, I mean, physically transformed into Jesus. When God physically transformed into um, Buddha, God physically transformed into what's the lady name? I can't think of it. That's the only thing about it. Like I know that I know these things in my mind. I know the names, and I'm looking at the images of my mind of who God um, transformed into multiple times. But I, baby, I can't repeat them names. So just Google it. You know, just Google it. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Um, I can't remember, and I'm looking at them. The multiple things, even like in Kabbalah, even in Ka, baby, what's the thing, y'all? I promise you. Let me see. What is it, Kandali, or something like that, or whatever. And I do, yeah, I practice that. I do. I've been practicing that on and off for some years. Thebomb.com, that's all I gotta say. But and it's just breath work, okay? It's just breathing. It's just breathing. And I will say, for me, especially with me being in my 40s, it's the truth. Like when I wake up in the morning, you know, I got degenerative disc and I got degenerative joint disease, right? Whatever, but I don't have problems with blood pressure, nothing like that. So when I get up, yeah, my body, from the degenerative disease, it be hurting or whatever, but I can get up and I can go in my kitchen or I can stand up in my room, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. With no issue without, if I fall back down, that's because of the degenerative disc disease. But as far as my mind, I have mental clarity. So you know what I'm saying. So that's my only issue is the degenerative disc disease, the joint disease, and nerve damage. Those are my only issues. If it would not be for that, then I'd be A plus. But Kundalini, that's what it is. Okay, listen, it's just so many different things and different techniques and stuff like that. And a lot of times, like with Reiki, believe it or not, Reiki, you're gonna use more of your chi for Reiki, whether you know it or not. You're gonna, baby, okay. When I tell y'all, I get into this. I study this. Okay, been doing this here for years. But either way the case may be, and I be tapping into my source. That's why a lot of times when people try to put the evil eye on me or throw it at me or whatever it is, it don't work. Or even if it does work, it don't last. You see what I'm saying? Because when I actually tap back in, baby, that shit a wrap, and that shit gonna slap that person backwards. Like seriously. And that's just, and I feel bad, and I'm ashamed to even saying that for not even tapping in like I'm supposed to. Shame on me, right? But anyways, yeah. So when you get to working with those, whether if it's breath work, whether if it's stone work, and you're doing it in a good way, not trying to harm nobody else. Your intentions is never to harm anybody else, but your intentions is always to protect you and yours. Okay. When you're talking and when you're talking and you're doing spiritual work, a lot of times when you use your hands, you feel it. You feel it in your hand, and you feel it. Ooh, I needed that. And you feel it in your hands, and you feel it in your aura. You feel me manifesting, and you feel it in your hands, and you feel it in your aura. That's because you're tapping into the in the God in you. Okay. And that's what and that makes your soul and that makes your spirit so happy, because it makes your soul happy, and it makes your spirit job easier when you tap into your spirit. Okay. It makes it so much easier for your higher self to flow and to unblock your chakras and to um, destroy the trauma bonds, destroy the trauma that's in you and the trauma bonds. And it makes it easier to clear all that outside stuff that has been placed in you or on you. It's easier to clear it out, hands down. Anyway, hit me up, preservationof1@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to get a copy of my book, A Conversation with Alexandria August. Y'all, I still got company, so I'm still working on 48 Thoughts in 10 minutes. But what I did do with 48 Thoughts in 10 minutes, because the goal was to release it by my son's birthday. Child, that didn't work, so I ain't gonna tell y'all when my release date is, okay? I don't need nobody trying to send no evil out of my way. I gotta do my thing in silence. But either way, what I have done for sure is added extra poems to 48 Thoughts in 10 minutes. That way it'll be a longer book. It'll be worth your money. And also, yes, I was working on the Field of Flowers the day before yesterday. So either way, we're getting it done. Okay? Peace and love. Don't forget to get a copy of my book, A Conversation with Alexandria August. Thank you.